This rail network has been hampered by corruption, crime and misguided policies. Passenger movement has taken quite a serious knock. With stations and routes being compromised, Transnet's rail system has ground to a halt, with trucks now taking over when it comes to transporting goods through the N3 corridor. So how do we actually get here as a country, and what needs to be done to fix the system? Mathetha Mokonyama leads the Transport System and Operations area at the CSIR, and he speaks to us now about this. Mr. Mokonyama, thank you for your time. And good morning to you. That's the big question, I suppose, for most South Africans. How do we actually get here as a country when it comes to our derailed railway system?
Good morning, Tumelo. We got here slowly. This has been happening over time. If you look at the minutes of the Portfolio Committee on Transport over the years, as early as the 90s, there were warning signs and they were not essentially reacted to. So we let it go. It's not something that happened over the recent past. It's been building over many years.
So with that being said, let's talk about some of the things that also contributed, to where the railway system is now. Yes, we speak about how the warning signs were there, but to what extent has also corruption, crime, theft, lack of security over the years contributed to where we are?
Yes, the issues were being raised over the years, including security. In the Portfolio Committee on Transport. So what this says is that accountability is something that hasn't happened. We have, essentially Parliament that is supposed to hold the likes of PRASA, the likes of Transnet to account, but that has not happened, on the ground. So the entire system of accountability has been compromised over the years. And what we see actually are the symptoms of the problem. At the heart of the problem is essentially lack of accountability. If you look at just the structure of PRASA, PRASA is a huge conglomerate. You are an operator, you are an infrastructure owner, at the same time you are a planner. You account to yourself, essentially, apart from, from time to time going to Parliament and saying, this is what I'm doing. You miss your own deadlines, and nothing happens. So accountability has been compromised. And what we need to do going forward is to look at how we create accountability in the system.
Dr. Mokonyama, you spoke earlier on about, the accountability that needs to be taken by PRASA. But when we look at the Department of Transport, the Minister Fikile Mbalula, are you satisfied with how they, as government, as a ministry, as a department responsible for this particular transport sector, have handled, PRASA as well as our railway systems in terms of not only ensuring there is accountability, but implementing, solutions so that South Africans who depend on these trains do not obviously go unattended to?
There's a lot that the Department of Transport can actually do. If we look at the subsidy that is being allocated just to PRASA, and with the services having come to a halt in some parts of the country, what you would have expected from a shareholder department who cares about the communities would say, why do I continue to pay so much money still for services that are not being rendered? Let me rather contract, it could be, buses that could ferry a certain proportion of commuters from, say, Naledi to the city of Johannesburg, as an example. So you show that you care. So if I continue to pump money into a service that is not being rendered, essentially I'm incentivizing, non-delivery. So there's a lot that could have been done by the department, essentially to show that they care, but then also to show that they can hold their entity accountable. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. And is privatization, in your opinion, a possible solution?
Privatization is part of the solution, but not I don't think it's a panacea. What we absolutely need to do is to strengthen, in the case of PRASA, the regions. There's the Western Cape region, there's the Gauteng region, Eastern Cape. What you find is that the head office is got a lot of people that could be deployed to the regions, to the Eastern Cape region. So what I would actually do in the short term is to say, you the finance department that is, here in the head office, let's reallocate you to the, given the crisis that we have, let's reallocate you to the regions to unlock the supply chain issues in those regions. If someone is looking for a spare part, something as simple as a spare part, that could, get services to a halt. How do we unlock supply chain in those regions? Similarly with HR, human resources, how do I deploy the head office resources into those regions to make sure that accountability, in those regions?
Well, we'll have to leave it there. I appreciate you adding your voice to this conversation. Dr. Mathetha Mokonyama, the Transport System and Operations Area Lead at CSIR. Thank you so much for your time this morning. So lots more